Let's talk a little bit about karmic will versus divine will. So what is karmic will? So karmic will is what we're bound into in this realm, okay? There's this wheel of karma. And all that this is that every action has a reaction. So every intention and action that you take will create some sort of effect, but this can starts at the realm of thoughts or intention. So if we really take the time to think about how many insane number of lifetimes we've lived, how many thoughts that then had effects, right? So what happens is in this lifetime, all these things that happen to us, outside of us, that come to us, they are effects of causes that we've created in some past timeline, whether in this lifetime, past lifetimes, and they all accumulate together and they create this blueprint, this karmic blueprint that you carry, that, it's all in your field and it's all imprinted in the energy centers of your spine, like the 7 major chakras. This is where we hold all these karmic imprints in our energy field. So it's important to understand that literally everything that happens in our lives is so perfectly orchestrated as the exact effect to a particular cause. Every little thing, right? So when you really understand the karmic law, that means if something negative happens to you, it is an effect of a cause that you yourself have created in some past lifetime. And this can be really, really difficult to accept because no one wants to accept that beyond this lifetime we might have done wrong, but we also have done a lot of good. So think about all the good and bad that we've labeled that comes to us and happens to us throughout this lifetime. These are all effects of causes we've taken at the level of thought and action, right? So eventually, when we live enough of this karmic wheel and we keep incarnating over and over and over again, and we live all the effects to all the causes that we've created, we realize that we're actually bound to this karmic wheel, right? And eventually, you get tired of it. Your desires end or start to diminish. And you realize, wow, why am I not naturally drawn to wanting more things or experiencing all these new things that maybe a lot of others still want to live out and experience? And as those things diminish, you start to question, well, why am I here? And then eventually reach a state where you realize there is more beyond this world. And you want to actually get to know God. And these things will come to you naturally. So once you understand that process of karmic will, then you'll realize, oh, if I make the effort internally to connect with God, to the Spirit of God, then eventually you can align yourself with the divine will directly. The divine will start take notice of you when you actually start going deep within yourself in meditation and you start attuning yourself to higher levels of consciousness and to eventually the Spirit of God, which is beyond the level of the mind. Now, once you attune yourself to and really commit yourself to living life in accordance to divine will, this is what it means to then learn to surrender. You surrender to the ways of God, of the divine, and you accept whatever comes your way is meant to work out for you. Right? You're flipping your perspective. You're flipping the script of all the false narratives you've had in the past, being bound to the perception of karmic will. So once you allow yourself to align with divine will, you learn what it means to really surrender. Surrender your ego ways to the divine. You say, God, I'm tired of controlling the mind in all these ways. I give it to you, I surrender it to you, and I choose to live according to your will. But the way to do this is to consistently have a spiritual practice, a meditation practice, day to day, and internally intend, God, it is all your will. I surrender it all to you. And whatever comes my way, may I take action for it to be of service to you and all sentient beings. And then you can't go wrong when you surrender your entire ways to God and you let Him guide you. You are now going to live closer and closer into alignment with divine will.